Pineapple! What? Pineapple?
Hello everybody, my name is Tommy and this is a bird video. So I have right here, this is Bella and that's Chico. And in this video I will be showing you how to make Rockstar Foxy's Parrot from Five Nights at Freddy's 6. Welcome to Tommy's Puppet Lab. Enjoy the show. Before we get started with this tutorial, I just want to cover some safety. Knives and scissors are very sharp and pointy, so please get an adult to help you. Always cut away from yourself, never towards yourself. And that includes your fingers. When using hot glue, always wear gloves to protect yourself from burns. Never touch the tip, so please be very careful with this. And I highly recommend adult supervision. Alright, let's start. Alright, so let's make Foxy a parrot. So to make Rockstar Foxy's Parrot, the first thing you will need to do is you will need to crumple newspaper into the shape of a ball. And there you go, that's the head. That's the bird head. And now we need to make the body. So we're going to crumble newspaper into the shape of an egg. Okay, so now you have an egg. I'm just going to scrunch the top a little bit. Like that, so that the head can fit on. And now, the next thing we need to make, the last thing, we need to make the wings. So these are the wings right here. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make these right now. All you need to do is you need to make a smaller newspaper egg and we're going to flatten it. Just like that, and you have yourself a wing. You're going to make another one. Yep. Same size, same shape. So you're going to make yourself two of these. And just like that, you have yourself a set of wings. So there you go. Now, the other thing is we need to have a wooden dowel. If you don't have one, I'm just going to use this pencil right here. And this little thing is actually attached to Rockstar Foxy's shoulder. And just like that. Alright, we are now ready for the paper mache part. Okay, so now it is time to start adding paper mache. So I'm going to show you how to make the glue solution. You will need white glue and you're going to need some water. You'll also need a container and a large paintbrush. Whatever size works for you. Okay? So you need to mix 1 part water and 1 part white glue. If you're going to use 1 cup of water, you will add 1 cup of white glue. 2 cups of water, 2 cups of white glue. That's what 1 part water and 1 part glue means. So I'm going to do that right now. So I got this little measuring cup here. So we're going to start off by adding 1 part water. So we're going to pour that into the container. And now we need to add 1 cup of white glue. And you just pour it into your water. You use a small paintbrush to get the glue off. Now you're going to mix your solution. Okay, so that should be good enough. So now we have our mixture. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to use this glue. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a paintbrush and put some glue on to the surface area like that, and you're going to use tissue paper or toilet paper. I use toilet paper because it's cheap and it works really well. and you're going to cover the surface area that you just painted on. And now you're going to paint glue on top. Make sure that the tissue is completely covered in glue. And you're going to put another layer on top. And you're going to brush even more glue on top. You're going to do this to every single piece until you have about 3 or 4 layers. Okay? So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so now we need to make the feather. So the feather goes on top of the bird's head. So I'm just going to draw a feather on a sheet of cardboard. So it's going to look something like this. Yeah, so we're just going to cut that out. So it's going to look like this. This is going to be the feather that goes on top of its head. So it should kind of look like a teardrop. Alright, so now here's the bird's body. And what we need to do is we need to make the belly. And we'll add the pencil on later. I'm just going to draw the belly onto here. Should look like an egg. Should look like this. I'm going to cut that out. And it's going to go on to here. And that's what it should look like. Now, for the wings, we actually need to add some more cardboard. Need to cut out 2 cardboard rectangles like I am right now. And we're going to glue these onto the top here. And this is how we're going to attach it to the body. That way the wings can actually flap. We're going to make the wings so that they can flap. Okay, so once you're happy with the placement, I'm going to go ahead and put paper mache on this. So here are all the pieces that you should have right now. You should have the head. You should have a feather made of cardboard. Here's the body. I already installed the dowel right there. I actually just used a pencil and I covered it in paper mache. And you should have the wings with the cardboard attachment on it. Alright, so now let's detail the head. Okay, so here's the head, and we're going to need to give this bird some eyes. So I have a very tiny styrofoam here, so we can get these at the dollar store. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the eyes. We'll make the eyebrow, and then we're going to make the beak. And then we'll have to make the moving jaw. So let's draw the eyes on first. Okay, so the eye patch is going to go on right here. Here we have the eye. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut them out. Just be very careful when you're using knives. And there you go, the eyes should fit in just nicely. I know this bird is going to wear an eye patch, but I'm just going to make it a movable eye patch so that you can lift it up and put it back on. Yeah, this bird has eyebrows. Draw the eyebrows. Looks like a hair almost. I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to make myself another one. Okay, so I'm going to use hot glue to put these eyebrows on. So I'm going to do that right now. So you should have something that looks like that. I'm going to glue the feather on top. So I'm actually just going to cut an opening on the top. Okay, so we just cut an opening on the top and put the feather in like that. And there you go. It's that easy. Put some glue on it just to make sure it stays in. Now the next thing that we need to make is the beak. So to make the beak, just crumple up newspaper and shape it into a triangle, or kind of looks like a shark tooth, I guess. So I'm going to take this triangle and I'm going to put this newspaper on the top like this. And there you go. You should have something that looks like that. So that looks a lot more like a bird's beak. You just make it slightly curved to make it look more like a parrot bill. Yeah. So now it's slightly curved, so that looks like a parrot's beak. Okay, so let's glue this on. Just below the eyes. And you should have something that looks like this once the beak is attached. So right now, this actually looks very much like an angry bird. That's awesome. So this is how you make an angry bird. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to actually cut an opening here so that we can make this into a puppet. Okay, so what we will have to do is we are going to have to actually take all the newspaper out from the back. So I'm going to cut the back open. Okay, so we just cut the back open. We're going to take all this newspaper out. Okay, so now the head is completely empty. So even though that we've emptied the head, the glue stays together. Okay, so to make the puppet mechanics, you will need a popsicle stick. So basically, we're just going to put this right in the mouth. So when you push down on the popsicle stick, that'll happen. Yeah, it's not very straight, but we're going to fix that, don't worry. But just to show you how it works, so we got our popsicle stick. We're going to put that there. Take a small triangle cutout on a piece of cardboard. So just take a very small amount of newspaper and we're just going to scrunch it on top and put tape on it. So it should kind of look like a shark tooth. So we got the bottom nice and flat here. Yep, that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to glue this at the end of the popsicle stick. Like that. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this down. We're just going to let the glue cool down and we will proceed to the next step. And there, you should have an arrow. Okay, so let's just try this. Yep. It's just a little bit crooked, but that's okay. We'll fix that later. But right now I want to get everything covered in paper mache. So we're just going to cover this up, the eyebrows, and that. So I made the hole just a little bit too big, so I just added a little cardboard here and a little cardboard there, and I covered it in paper mache, and it should not wobble. There. I'm going to close this, so what you need to do is you need to cut an opening here and there for the popsicle stick. So I'm going to do that right now. Just right in the middle is where I'm going to cut it. Okay, so I've got an opening in the back here. And there you go. All you have to do is just push down. Perfect. So this is all you need to do. You just push down on here and the bird will talk. Lovely. So now what we need to do is I'm going to take this out, we'll put it back in later. I'm going to cover up the back in paper mache. I'm going to glue it all back together so that we can actually paint this thing and finish it off. Okay, so the back is all glued up, nice and hard. So what you need to do, you need to take your arrow, I guess. You put it in and just make sure it goes right through the hole, like that. And all you need to do is you just need to push down on it and your bird will talk. So, and don't worry, we will secure this after we painted it. We need to make this bird an eye patch. So just cut a very tiny little circle. And there's the eye patch. So we just need to cut a very tiny cardboard circle. And then we're going to wrap a band around it. So you'll need that. I'm going to cover that in paper mache. Now you're going to need a wooden dowel. Not this long, I'm going to trim it. You can use the pencil like I did here. However, I'm going to be using this because it needs to be just a little bit thicker. And this is what's going to make the bird's head movable because we will be attaching it to here. Whenever you're using power tools, wear safety glasses, please. And then, of course, earplugs if it's loud. So I've cut my piece. Once again, you can use a pencil if you don't have this. So use a short one. So when you're cutting these things, please get an adult to do this for you. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to the bottom here. So I'm going to make just a very small hole with the scissors. So I've made the hole at the bottom of the head. I'm going to slide that in like there, just part way. Then I'm going to glue this on. Okay everybody, so now we just need to glue the wings on. So this is where you're going to put the glue on, just here, and that way the wings can still flap. Just want to make sure that this is still flexible. So I'm just going to put some glue onto here. And you're just going to glue it on top like that. And we're going to do the same thing to the other wing. The bird's wing is pinched onto the other side. Okay, and the wings are attached. So you should be able to make the wings flap or move a little bit. Now, we just need to make a hole here and put the dowel through. And the bird is ready to be painted. Alright everybody, it's time to start painting. Colors we will need, well we're definitely going to need the green color. And we are also going to need a little bit of black and orange for the beak. And just a little bit of silver. Alright, let's start painting. Okay, to make the eye patch, take this little cutout that we made here. I painted it black. So I'm actually using black stretchy fabric. You can use something similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to glue this on. Okay, so that's what I did. So once the glue cools down, we can attach it to the bird's head and we can start putting this all together. Alright, so it looks very much like an angry bird right now. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put the eye patch and we're going to wrap it around the head like that. And then we're going to glue this onto the back. Okay, so I just added the finishing gloss on it. The best way to do this is to paint the entire puppet with just glue and let it dry and you'll get a nice shine. Or you can use the spray-on stuff. If you're going to use the spray-on gloss, make sure you have good ventilation, do it outside, and wear safety glasses. And we're going to glue a piece of cardboard at the end so that this does not come out. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to take a cardboard strip. I'm just going to glue it at the end like that, and that will keep it from sliding out. And that's all there is to it. And voila! Alright everybody, I'm going to show you how to use this puppet. So this right here is going to be the handle. You just hold on to it there and you push down on the lever like I showed you earlier. You can move the head around, and of course the wings even flap. You can put some strings on it. Just like that. So I just glued a piece of string. I put one end on one wing and another piece on the other wing, and you just lift it up. And you can really bring your bird to life. Just like that. So now you know how to use your puppet. And there you have it. You now know how to make Rockstar Foxy's Parrot. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Take one hand and put these two fingers together. Put your pinky on top and grab your pinky with your index finger, and you just made yourself a puppet friend.